Um, I hope you're doing well. My apologies for keeping you waiting. Had some technical issues, but we're live now. Have a really short uh, presentation for you guys today. I figured I'd check in since there has been a lot of turmoil in the crypto markets as of late, and some of you may be nervous about what is happening with crypto. So, my main message in this live is not to worry. I don't think there's anything to worry. We're definitely not in a bear market. I think we're still in a bull market. And I actually think this is the perfect setup for people who maybe haven't filled their bags yet. This is an opportunity, I think, to do exactly that. Without further ado, let's get started. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, please. So, a lot of you may be feeling like this person right here, thinking, why didn't I sell when Bitcoin was at 72 and change, 73,000? And I'm here to tell you, I don't think this is really a time where you should be necessarily worried. The fact of the matter is, we know why the price of Bitcoin is falling. Mount Gox, the liquidations that we knew were going to start in July are starting. Mount Gox wallet transferred around almost 50,000 Bitcoin or 2.71 billion not too long ago, and in preparation for repayment. And this is going to cause selling pressure. Not only that, but you have the German government, you have the US government also transferring Bitcoin to wallets in preparation for liquidation, and the market is panicking. Not only that, but crypto and Bitcoin are some of the most highly leveraged risk assets out there. And when you have all this leverage and you have this exogenous event where you have liquidations that are not natural, these are liquidations that are happening because of a hack that happened in 2014, and they were able to recover some of the stolen items, and now they're returning these stolen assets, stolen bitcoins, to their rightful owners. So this is something that is not a part of the natural market movement. This is an exogenous event that happened that is impacting the markets. So. Um, Nevertheless, when you're levered up and when you're dealing with derivatives and um, you know uh, a high leverage, um, then regardless of whether this is a passing event or something that's fundamental to the asset, when the price goes down, you're going to end up having to sell. And a lot of people are finding themselves having to sell. And not just in Bitcoin, but crypto broadly, because a lot of crypto is traded by algorithms. Those algorithms tend to be tied to Bitcoin and other assets. And so you can see a drop in one place of the market will have a cascading effect on other assets, which will trigger liquidations, which will cause further drops. Now, us as halal conscious investors that don't deal with leverage, we can take advantage of these times because leverage tends to cause overshooting on the way down. So prices will drop more than what this just um, uh, uh, the voluntary selling will imply because of the forced selling that the leverage adds to the market. So we can take advantage of this by buying from forced sellers. Um, so I think this is basically a perfect setup where we have an exogenous event, something that's not um, caused by the fundamentals of the asset. The fundamentals of an asset like Bitcoin are actually improving with time as institutional adoption increases with the new ETFs, as familiarity with it increases, as its age increases and comfort levels with it increase. The fundamentals of the asset are increasing. We just have this event that is not fundamental to the asset impacting its price, and this is really what an investor looks for. So that this is, in a nutshell, why crypto is falling. And if you want an anecdote, so you have, for example, with ETH, you have a whale dump, 26,600 ETH, totaling close to 80 million at 3,100 to repay the debt that he had on Aave, and that caused the price of ETH to drop 3.4%. Then this whale created a new wallet, borrowed 80 million from Aave to buy ETH again. So this is happening across crypto in different assets. And so um, this is an opportunity, I think, for people who want to build positions in cryptos, and mainly Bitcoin is my 2 cents, not financial advice. But for people who want to maybe build positions, don't have a full position yet, I think this is an opportunity. I don't think this is a, um, a cause for investors to panic. I don't think this is a change in the overall regime of the market. We are still in a bull market. We're not in a bear market yet. And this is evidenced by the liquidity cycle that we're in, liquidity levels, and the um, projections for where liquidity will be for the remainder of this year and next year as well. So zoom out. That's my 2 cents, is to zoom out. We are basically where we should be in terms of Bitcoin's price. If you zoom out, you'll see that we're following the same pattern we followed in previous cycles. It's not going to be exact, but I think there is reason to think that history will rhyme as it often does. So when in doubt, zoom out, as the saying goes. Now, let's talk about IOS Energy because it updated us on its business today. The main thing about Iris that I think is extremely important, they raised more than 400 million in cash. They now have enough cash for their 2024 expansion plans, so it's fully funded. They have no debt. This is an excellent uh, data point for this company. I remain very bullish on Bitcoin miners, and especially miners that are involved in artificial intelligence and have diversified their business into that and data centers, because I think that this is a secular trend that will remain for many years. So, and the market is appreciating that. And I noticed today, actually, we had a PIF member notice in the Discord today. Iris Energy's stock price was getting close to CleanSpark's stock price, something that only a few months ago was really out of the realm of possibility. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we ended up selling CLSK. We started selling when it was 23. I think the last we sold was 19, and then we bought Iris Energy with it. And Iris Energy at the time was, I think, sub $7. So CLSK right now is, I think, around 16. Iris Energy is around 15. So that was the right move, alhamdulillah. And our stock portfolio has been doing quite well this week. I think our money weighted rate of return is above 150%. So alhamdulillah. That's another reason why I would say it's really not I don't think a good idea to panic about crypto. Because crypto is a risk asset, like stocks are risk assets, technology stocks especially. And you see, at least with our picks for technology, they're doing quite well, but crypto is not. And I think that's really a function of uh, what I mentioned regarding these one-off events that are keeping the market down, and then the leverage and liquidations causing it to uh, the impact of smaller price movements to be amplified, and this time in the downward direction. So, inshallah khair. If you'd like to follow our portfolios, we made our first pick in our newest small cap portfolio this week, do become a member to follow our portfolios and become part of our growing community. The more people we have, the more halal conscious investors we have, the more value there is to the community, and the more uh, um, the more valuable everyone's membership becomes. So, do become a member. We'd love to have you if you are halal conscious investor. Uh, Love for Humanity says, Assalamu alaikum, brother Akam, wa alaikum salam. Before I joined PIF, I went all in Tesla, and my average is 300 plus. It's been a roller coaster of a ride. Yeah, I'm sure it has been. Should I trim or exit my positions when break even, or keep it for the long haul? So I've said here many times before that I think that uh, Tesla can become a multi-trillion dollar company, inshallah. So if you have a long time horizon, I think that the $300 average price, will be okay. So I think it's going much higher, even in the near term. I think it's going higher. I think there's positive momentum leading up to the earnings in July, and then after the earnings, you have the um, August 8th robo-taxi event. So I think that those are catalysts. It may be a buy the rumor, sell the news situation where we have a run up to August 8th, and maybe somewhat of a pullback retracement after August 8th. So we'll see how much we run up prior to the robotaxi event. And if we do run up a lot, there may be a swing trade there where you could, sell leading up to the event, buy back after the event when things dip. So that's a wait and see if you want to do a bit of swing trading there. But longer term, I think Tesla will ultimately become, at least it's on the trajectory to become, the most valuable company on earth. I really believe that. So I think as a long term, if you don't need the money long term, there's nothing to worry about really. Yeah. Uh, Sorry, I was late starting the live. Way to bliss. Thank you for sticking with us. Uh, Nail, I believe. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Brother Khan, thank you for everything you do. It's my pleasure, especially for PIF member. It's my pleasure always. Let's not forget to leave a like and comment. Thank you very much, Nail. Um, Rashad says, thanks for a word of assurance. Always appreciated. It's my pleasure. Salim says, would you say it's better to buy Bitcoin or miner for better gains? So the Bitcoin miners, I look at them as basically a leveraged play on Bitcoin. I mean, the operating profit of the operating income of a company will increase a lot. Um, or will amplify the gains in Bitcoin because there are a lot of fixed expenses, and um, once you cover those fixed expenses, above that goes straight to your bottom line. So Bitcoin miners can be a leverage play on Bitcoin. However, they are more risky than Bitcoin. So it really depends on what your risk appetite is. The surer way is to go just directly with Bitcoin. With Bitcoin miners, you really have to make sure that you pick the right one Bitcoin miner that's running efficiently, that has a low cost per Bitcoin mine, that is not diluting shareholders into oblivion, that has a low cost of electricity, that is investing in um, more efficient miners. This is a constant process because you're competing with other miners on the network. There's a fixed amount that's distributed, so you want to make sure that your Bitcoin miner is at least maintaining their share in the overall network and not falling behind. So there's a lot of other. You have obviously political risks if they're based in a place where um, there may be some adverse legislation that they are um, subject to. So there's a lot more going on with Bitcoin miners that you have to take into account. Most of them actually, as of right now, most of them have underperformed Bitcoin. So for most miners, you would have been better off just buying Bitcoin. There are a few miners that have done well. So, just a word of caution if you want to dabble into Bitcoin miners. Um, do you think there is more X for iron, or are we close to its highest? I think there's more room to run for Irish Energy, especially considering that they are really investing heavily and seem very aware of the data center opportunity. And they have been one of the earliest Bitcoin miners to actually make their business or diversify their business into not just Bitcoin mining, but also compute power for data centers. So I think this is, as I mentioned, a secular trend that will serve the companies that invest in a big way, inshallah. Um, for our buy and sell prices, you're asking when to sell IOS Energy for our buy and sell prices to uh, check our watch list. That's where we have, when we would start to take profits and when we would buy. All right, guys, do leave a like if you enjoyed this video and enjoy your weekend. And just a thought that I had this week that I'd like to share. When things are going very well for you in the market, alhamdulillah, it's been going quite well for us in the markets, excluding crypto. But it's been going quite well for the markets. It's easy to get very caught up in the prices of your stocks and the value of your portfolio. And I just want you to make sure that you're not falling into um, putting too much importance on it. Ultimately, I mean, after you've a- after you've fulfilled your needs, your basic needs for yourself, for your family, everything above that is, just a nice to have. It's not a must have. And so, if you're lucky enough to be in a place where you're safe, your food is there for yourself, for your family, um, you're in good health. There's really nothing um, above that you know money is going to get you. So just keep things in perspective and um, don't forget about the more important things: spending time with your family, spending time with your creator, being a good Muslim, being a good person. Don't forget about those things uh, in favor of, just following your portfolio and being obsessed with it and checking it every 2 seconds. I had to remind myself of this week, and so I'm not saying this because from the perspective of someone who is above these things. I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who actually has to remind themselves of these things. And so I just wanted to share that. A good way to kind of ground yourself when you feel like you're too involved in this and it's just taking too much mental space, is to give money away. That's a good way to sort of ground yourself and to get out of that state of mind. So give money away, charity, sadaqah, help someone with it. That's a good way to keep things in perspective. So just wanted to share that with you guys and enjoy your weekend. Assalamu alaikum and peace be upon you all.